And also, if I did split up the video in two, then this is the part where I'm going to be doing a post-commentary intro. So, hooray for editing behind-the-scenes stuff. Hoorah! Hi! This is a post-commentary intro. I'm Lady Gear to you. Welcome to Tomb Raider Underworld. Next reward is over here. You can go grab it real quick. And we can go over here. And there's a jar over there I want to go grab real quick. So, yay, jars. Alright, so you may notice now we're back in the main room that we were at the beginning of this area. So you may be wondering, well, if we fall off this area, are we going to have to go completely back down and stuff like that? No. You can use a grappling hook to go down here as much as you want, as long as you activate the thing up there. So, yeah, we can, if we go in the right spot, we can use a grappling hook to jump upwards. So yeah, that's something that's going to be very well worth mentioning, because I see a lot of people playing through this game and getting stuck in this area, thinking they have to go all the way back in that area and getting discouraged from playing the game. But no, you just use a grappling hook right there and you can continue on your merry way of Path to Glory. This over here is like a teeter-totter area over there, and that mountain in the background is a 3D Death Spider. Wow. Xbox 360, your limitations are showing. Alright, so I really love how you can see like the rocks crumbling on the arm right there. That's just a really cool detail. But enough about that, because we have some console differences to go for. So in case you couldn't tell, it's pretty much just this statue area over here that's in the Wii version of this game. None of the other stuff in this level is in that version. But I said earlier that what the Wii version did for this puzzle was actually pretty interesting, because there is a Wii exclusive puzzle involving gemstones you can use to complete the puzzle. And you can see an on-screen thing right now of me solving those puzzles. Basically, you'd go on the left one first and solve that puzzle real quick, and then get the gemstone to activate this rock on the statue hands. And then you'd go back into that area and kind of pry off one of the gemstones to use on the other one. And if you tried going to that one first, then it would say that there's one missing and the puzzle is useless right now. So I like how they did it in the Wii version, and it's pretty interesting. Although I am kind of bummed out that they cut corners on the Wii version and cut out a kind of a big chunk of the level. But it's not that big of a problem. Kind of, maybe. Alright, so now that we've taken care of that, the next thing we want to do is raise the statue back up to where it was a moment ago. Let's probably go up here first. Alright, there we go. Jumping on this area will cause the statue hand to go back upwards, so that's pretty useful. Alright. Well, there's some bats over there we can take care of real quick. I believe the next thing we want to do is jump down here. I said jump down there. Camera. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I love these games and all, but the camera is definitely my least favorite part of it. Let's go over there and jump this way. The camera always seems to be like a big problem with Tomb Raider games in general. Even with the more recent games, it's not always all that great. Cameras in 3D games aren't usually all that great to begin with, because they can be a bit hard to control at times, and for most games, the way they control can be a little bit weird at times. But there are some games with generally great 3D cameras. Like I think Mario Odyssey is probably one of my more personal favorites. That and Mario Odyssey. The Mario games in general usually have pretty good cameras, aside from 64 and Galaxy. But now that we've taken care of that, we want to jump up here, jump on the pole, and go this way. The reason why I want to move that crate first before jumping on that area is because jumping off of this platform, you have a very limited window of opportunity to actually keep it upwards, because once you jump off, it's going to start going back downwards. Save a bit of a timed window to move this statue over here to prevent it from going back all the way down and triggering the arm to go back upwards. That's a generally clever puzzle right there. Kind of. I know I got stuck on that for the longest time on my first playthrough. Because that was dumb. Alrighty then, we go over here. And activate the final gemstone. Or super gem if you want to go by Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Before I forget, there should be a gemstone somewhere around here. Indeed there is. It's super shiny. And just because I feel like it, you know me, pottery must die. Pottery is our nemesis. Fun story, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this already, but whenever my notes say something to do with destroying jars to get a gemstone, I usually have something goofy on there, like one of the jars earlier in the level. In my notes it says something along the lines of destroy the jars in cold blood or something like that. Because I'm goofy like that. Alright, so what we want to do for this puzzle over here, you want to move these statues so that the shiny part of the fan will reflect off the light, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, I remember getting stuck on this one for the longest time when I first played through this game. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting one. I remember when I was planning out for this Let's Play, I was like super nervous about this puzzle in particular, because I think I'm doing this wrong. For whatever reason, it's not letting me move it onto that track. There we go, okay. I was a little worried that it glitched right there. Because this puzzle has glitched on me in the past where I... Excuse me, statue, please move. Alright. Move the fan into the light. And there we go. This puzzle kind of looks a little weird on the Wii version because the lights reflect into the statue's eyeballs instead of their forehead. So I think that's pretty well worth mentioning. I just want to take a moment to appreciate these statues real quick because they look so beautiful. Even on the Wii version, these statues look really great. And I also love the music in that part where the statue lowers and things like that. It's just so pretty. This room right here is also a little bit different on the Wii version, because after you go into the statue, you're be facing like a battle gauntlet kind of thing with those Naga enemies. So that's probably like the most combat you'll ever see in the Wii version of this game.
similar to the Niflheim ruins.
But before we end off this video, because we're getting pretty close to the end, there's an easily missable artifact right there in the bushes, so you definitely want to go grab those real quick. And I believe there's some more jars over here I want to destroy. Indeed, there are. Ah, all shall fear my ability to destroy pottery. Next thing you want to do, grappling hook, and send the statue plummeting downwards. And that's the end of the level. And there's some spiders over here to destroy. But that's going to be it for this episode of Tomb Raider Underworld. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. And next time, I'm going to gear to you. Oh yeah.
Layers of history. The Hindu ruins are ancient, but the Niflheim site is far older still. Old enough to have been above sea level at the tail end of the last ice age. These ruins here are stylistically identical and of comparable age. The Hindu built on top of the far older ruins below, creating the stark contrast of architectural style and weathering. Thor's strengths. Of all the gods in human mythology, Thor was among the strongest. The stories of his strength stem from truth. However, as the power of his gauntlet now reveals, the power in the gauntlet stone somehow activates specially prepared objects and renders them virtually weightless. Doubtless this would appear as extraordinary strength to anyone unaware of the ancient artifact being employed.